Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Coach Roundtable. Just a few logistics before we get started. We have the wonderful Mindy Stevenson, also known as Maven Mindy, joining us today. But just to kind of share a little bit of the logistics, if you're joining us or if you're viewing us without logging into your Twitter, you're not able to chat and engage. So if you do have a Twitter account, feel free to log in and you're able to ask questions along the way or share comments in the chat box, ask questions, all that sort of thing. Another feature that you can do is on the left side of your screen that you can enter the / with a Q, and that'll feature your question. And we can display it on the screen and you can get a little more brand visibility. That's one way to do that. Plus, it'll be a great way to engage with you. And then you can also tweet and post this show live now. So there's a tweet button and a post to Facebook button, and you can do that at any point during the show to share in your network. If you're really loving what we're having a conversation about, we'd love for you to do that. And so let's get started. So Mindy is the CEO and mindset mentor of Outer Box Concepts. And she's really passionate about increasing people's own self-worth and their self-acceptance and their self-love. And she really uses her background and experience to really help move them forward to a place of freedom and self-acceptance and self-love. And so I really am excited to have her here, and we're just going to learn and share all of her wisdom with everyone. So I'm so excited. Welcome, Mindy.
Thank you so much for having me on this morning, or this afternoon.
I know, right? What day is it?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what day is it? What time is it? I'm all discombobulated.
Well, this is wonderful. This is very cool. And I love that there's two new coaches to Blab. I think, video is king. And so that's another reason why I started this community, is to give more coaches the opportunity to get out there and have a voice, use new platforms. So this is really cool that there's two new people trying this out. So that is very exciting to see.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Going bigger in 2016, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's what 2016 is all about.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It feels so, I remember when the first of the year started, I just felt so much lighter, and I felt even more optimistic because I think you can relate, and Mark can relate, and any other coach that's out there watching, is starting a coaching practice is a lot of work. It's not just this fa la 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 dreamland in the clouds. It's hard work.
Yes, and it's continuous work. It's like never ending. You learn something new, and then you learn something else new the next day, and then you have to apply everything to everything and make sure it's consistent. So it's like you're constantly grinding at what we do, but we love it so much that we don't really notice that's what's happening, even though sometimes we get physically exhausted. I'm so glad that we have each other to lean on, in this group and the other coach groups that we have, like you have the, coaches over coffee and stuff. It's so nice to have that support as a coach, because we need to have somebody too. And so it's just so important that we also invest in ourselves to do that in whatever way we can, because we need it.
Amen to that. And welcome. If you're a coach and you're in the room, I'd love for you to share your area of expertise, maybe how long you've been coaching. We have Maven Mindy with us today, and she's going to talk to us about looking within and trusting your success. And so I'm so excited. Tell me why you chose this topic.
Well, I'll just be very authentic here. This is my first interview that I've ever done, so I was conflicted about coming up with questions. And when you asked me, what is going on in your life right now, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a trend, was the third one that I sent you, which was looking within and trusting yourself to success, meaning in every area of your life, not just in your business, because when you trust yourself and you love yourself completely and you have that relationship with yourself, you can have success across the board, because you are indeed one person. Our life isn't segmented, even though we'd like to think it is. So one area, which I believe loving yourself is the foundation, you can improve that in every way. It fills the light in all the dark places, for me at least.
Oh, that's beautiful. Fills the light into all the dark places. Yeah, and I think that a lot of times, just like you have said in your bio, is that we sometimes feel like we're really isolated, like we're the only one struggling with this. And even though we logically know that that's not true, kind of putting it into a really practical, action-oriented sort of way to address it doesn't occur to us. And the cool thing is there are people like you, right? There's people out there that say, you and me and Mark and all the other coaches that say, you know what, you don't have to do this alone, and I'm here to support you. And this is part of my story, and I want to help you through it. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about your story. What led you to coaching?
Well, that's a good question. I was working at State Farm Insurance for about 9 years, and I had a very rewarding job there. I loved what I did, and I loved the people that I worked with. And then I got to meet so many different people from all different walks of life, literally every day. So it was really thriving as far as the position that I had. But it was the same thing over and over again, even though the people were great. And what I felt one day was I was sitting in my cubicle and I just was so restless and so irritated and frustrated and thinking, I really don't have anywhere else to go in this company. Options that I have are not options that I want to take. It just wasn't what would have benefited me and who I am as a person. So I didn't feel like moving forward there would have benefited me. So I felt like I got pushed to the point where leaving was my option, and taking that step of faith and saying, I need to do something different. But I was literally sitting at my cubicle, to answer the question, feeling like, oh my God, this can't be it for my life. This cubicle, square, cookie cutter life, and I'm doing everything that everyone else is telling me to do. I have the real job with the benefits and the vacation and the insurance and the 401k, and I'm doing everything I was taught I should do, getting my college education, and I was just not okay with where I was sitting. It was what everyone else wanted, and I realized sitting there that that's not what I wanted, and that wasn't it for me. And then I was approached by a coach who actually worked there as well. And he said, hey, I'm starting this coaching practice. I'd really like to, take the time to get to know you better and see how I can help you succeed in life and see, where you're at and what you want to do. And I remember the first thing he asked me is, what makes you happy? And I couldn't answer the question. I just couldn't. I didn't know.
So profound. Yeah, so profound. Yeah.
And I cried. And it brings me to tears now because I didn't know the answer. And it hurt me so bad that I didn't even know myself. And it was my wake-up call.
What a beautiful and powerful moment. I feel the energy and power and passion.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was going to happen.
So beautiful. I love that. The thing that, when you sit across the table from someone who is so real and so honest, that really helps build that trust. And thank you for sharing that and just being vulnerable in this moment. That's beautiful.
I didn't know I was going to really go there.
Yeah, I love that.
Just so you'll know, Dara does make this happen.
That's a really good thing, hopefully, or not a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
That wasn't the start. Like I say in my bio, I fell off the turnip truck a couple of times, even though I realized that, and I realized that my mindset had to change. Even though my mindset was changing, it wasn't until my son was born that life really changed for me. And then a year after he was born, it supremely changed for me. And that was the time in my life after he was born and I went through a domestic violence situation. I was laying on the ground saying, what is wrong with me that I would have allowed this type of thing to happen? And that was the second thing that happened that really turned my life around, was knowing that I wasn't born for this behavior, for this treatment. And that's when I really changed my life and said, I have to help other women not feel this way, not feel stuck, not feel like they don't have any other option. Love yourself enough to move forward and not be a victim, and be responsible for who you are, and move forward every day, no matter what obstacles come in your way.
That is beautiful. I'm giving you some high five props, which is a cool feature in here. That's beautiful. And the more we kind of share our story,
comments.
Yeah, and Mark, I want to ask share your insight or your comment in just a moment. I think so. Some of the things I heard in there, gosh, seeing a coach who is really connected to their story. You said, I am empowered and now know that through my own experiences, through my education, through the research that you found, you are able to bring the light into those dark places, and especially coming from a place of your own personal journey to conquer those, right? To conquer those struggles.
Yeah. I call it turning my pain into profit.
Ooh. I love that. I'm like writing down all your little
you can
metaphors.
have it. You tell me what I said later. I won't remember. You know me.
I love this. Moving forward and connecting to your story. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love seeing that. And so whenever you had this moment, it seems like coaches, and first, well, let me share Mark's comment. He says, my biggest challenge has been trusting myself. I'm a small business owner. As a small business owner, I love to help others, but I'm struggling with how to price my help, etc. Okay. That is huge. Yeah. So what insights do you have around that?
You know, this is such a great question from you right now, Mark, because I've recently been through these feelings. And I'm meeting a lot of people that are starting their own businesses or recently started their own business or maybe a couple years in, and they're feeling the same way about being a business owner. And my first thing, I just met a lady at the ICF meeting last week who is starting an awesome program. She's doing a program where she's going into lawyers' offices and providing her nursing practitioners experience for their legal cases. She's being the medical consult on these cases and making sure that the things are happening properly, if it's even a case, if there's really something to it, if it's not legitimate, because, you know, we live in a society where a lot of the things are happening. So it's such an amazing thing that she's doing and she's offering, and she's just starting. So she felt like, even though I'm really a subject matter expert in this, I'm starting a new business and I don't know what I'm doing, and oh my God. So this is some advice I got from a coach, several coaches, several people, several friends that really know what they're doing. And they say, you know what, the problem is as small business owners is that we think we have to know everything. And we think we have to have everything perfect in order to begin. Well, if we never begin, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know how we can make better choices because we haven't made mistakes. And it's just like falling. If we don't fall, we can't get up again in life, in business, and whatever. So my biggest advice is to trust yourself and believe in what you're doing, because you're doing it for your ultimate goal and purpose in life, which I can imagine, Mark, that's probably why you're doing what you're doing, because you love what you're doing. So you're doing it for the right reason. And to just trust that whenever you're doing something, to put it out there, take action, put it out there, get feedback, ask for what people want. Ask for how else you can help. What else can I provide for you? And just being real with people means everything. Letting them know you don't know everything, or you don't have the solution, or here's 3 ways I could have done that, or how can we find a solution together? It's just being genuine and being free to be who exactly you are in your business, and modeling your business in that way, and making sure you stay connected to the reason you started it and why you're doing it. I go back and look at my guiding principles every single day. And just by the way, I didn't know what those were or how I got those until I met the fabulous women of Muse, that's Dara and Kelly. And they really helped me put my brain in perspective. So that's the other thing you have to do, is continually invest in yourself and finding people that are going to help you take yourself to the next level. Always have to have, like for me, I have to live with a coach. I have 3 at one time. I have 3 right now. 3 different things. I really do.
I love that.
And I'm okay with that, because I want to pay people with their worth for their talents that I'm not talented at, so that I can gain the knowledge and make better decisions as a business person. Not necessarily be the one that does it, but learn to make better decisions, knowing the knowledge, having the knowledge and the information, versus just trying to do it for myself, not really knowing, and then having to redo it over and over because I wasn't willing to invest that in myself. Thank you so much, Mark.
You rock. I love that. That's amazing. Yeah. So yeah, you know that, and I was going to kind of emphasize exactly what you just said. I mean, that's the work I do in personal branding, and now certified in positive psychology, is really helping to keep people become more resourceful. But first, really taking that step back, right? Going all the way back and saying, who am I? How am I going to find the source of inspiration that's going to propel me, sustain me through one of probably the hardest things you can ever do in your life is start a business. The most challenging and most rewarding thing, right? So really knowing yourself. and really kind of pausing to say, what is the vision for change that I want to have in the world? I know and I believe in myself. I trust my voice, and I'm going to start before I'm ready. I love that. Yeah,
and the
absolutely.
other thing too is it's okay to have a totally crappy, shitty, oh my God, horrible day.
It is okay.
Day you wake up again and you start over. Every day is a new start, no matter what. So every day you get to wake up and choose. And that's my word this year is choose. Every day you can wake up and choose every moment what you're going to do. And then you can reflect at the end of the day and say, I choose to do that differently tomorrow. Period. That simple. You don't have to be afraid to make mistakes, because that's literally, I mean, it's going to happen. If we're striving for perfection, we're never going to get there. Just be okay with being perfectly imperfect, because that's really who beautiful. That's the beauty in our flaws, is that we have flaws just like we have strengths, and we have to appreciate both of them.
Appreciating both of them. Yeah, I love that. It's like, and you know, from the first moment I met you, Mindy, you have this really light and bright spark inside of you that you're just ready to go big and share with the world. You have such an energy to give and show yourself, and doing it with a lot of bravery and courage, despite those emotional moments of being real and vulnerable. That's what makes you who you are, and I think that's what makes people love you. Just that realness. Yeah. Yeah.
I recently learned in a meeting, if it doesn't make you bolt, then you're not ready to step into bold action. So if I'm bolting, it means it's time to do it. So I did that the other day. I posted a video of me singing in the car and showing who I really was very intimate, because I was by myself in the car, videoing me singing and jamming to an In Vogue song and just really putting it out there. And I said, I'm bolting. I'm embracing who I am and sharing it with you.
I love that. I'm going to press pause real quick, see if we can reset.
Recorded.
Hey, good point. That's right.
Happy Friday.
And I'm the one pressing the record button. Hello. That's funny. Gosh. Yeah. So, you know, the one thing that I heard in there, because so today we're talking about looking within and trusting yourself to success, right? Trusting your own success potential. And so what I just heard you say is, you know, you said it in a different way and it's in your own style. You said, do something that scares the beep out of you, right? Just do it. Just do it before you feel ready. Do it.
Stop thinking about it and do it and be authentic.
Yeah. Just stop getting in your head and just take that first step. Yeah. And so what I'd like to explore with you now is, sure, that's great to say that, right? But how do we do that? How can we dissect this, deconstruct this for people to really understand what that moment of self-trust looks like? So if you can explain, let's stay with that car example. So you're in the car, you know, you want to shoot this video. You're probably, you know, really terrified a little bit, but you have this strong desire. Tell us more. What does that look like in that moment? What are you thinking? What's getting you there?
Well, you know, I have to think about when I was thinking about putting it out there, I really thought about my brand and what it means to me. And really, you know, living out my brand is living out who I am, and they go together, right? So if I'm living out who I am, then I'm able to show people who I am. Then I have to show them who I really am in those real moments when I'm not working, when I'm not being a mom, when I'm not being a fiance, when I'm not being whatever, when I'm just being Mindy by myself. I think it's so important to represent that. And so as I step into my brand every day, which is my intention to continue to step into my brand, that's what made me hit the play button and hit the go button, was I really want to do this with the real me and let people see who I am. And they won't gain trust for me if they don't see who I am behind the brand, the logo.
Absolutely.
I am behind the logo. So
you're really connecting to why it's important to you. That's what I heard. Why it's important to me and what's inspiring me. Well, what's inspiring you? What I heard is really showing people who you are, and just you're ready and okay with it. You know, with your cape on, kind of.
You know, it's a process that I had to get to because I wasn't doing this every day, and that's why I have, you know, the implement strategy of my process and my business is, you know, it's accept, shift your mentality, and implement. And the implement is so important because if we're not doing it every day, we're not doing it. Just like working out or eating a good, you know, eating right, or drinking how many bottles of water, or getting up and getting dressed to go to that same job every day. It's a routine we have to build and we have to practice. And when we don't get it right, we have to just get up tomorrow and try it again and not beat ourselves up for, oh, I didn't do that yesterday. But is to consistently keep trying to make sure that we're implementing that every day. Yes, it's okay to mess up. Yes, it's okay to not do it one day or 2 days or for a week. Just get back on track and don't worry about what you didn't do. Worry about what you're going to do and worry about getting it done.
And that's, that's so important, right? And not only for yourself and your life to kind of build those healthy practices, but it's important for your brand, right? So having that consistency, just showing who you are and choosing every day to show up the way that you really want to.
Right. Absolutely. And I find ways every day that I can implement more and more. And some days I hold myself accountable to it. And other days I have someone else hold me accountable because I don't feel like it. So, and then some days it just doesn't happen. And usually that's on a Sunday.
Yeah, we're allowed rest, I think. But, as entrepreneurs, someone just asked me the other day, what does your schedule look like? Are you like sort of 40 hours, 60 hours? And I said, it's whenever I feel inspired. Sometimes it's, from 9 to 6. Sometimes it's from, 3 to, midnight. I don't know. Like every single day when I find that inspiration around a specific goal that I've set for myself, my schedule is as flexible as I want it to be, right? But showing that same intention. And so I want to recap everything that you just said. So some of the things that I heard that move you to that place of trusting your own success is first really knowing that you can choose. You can wake up into every single day and choose to do it differently. That's what I heard. I heard you talk about some self-compassion and non-judgment and just putting one foot in front of the other and knowing that you have a support system. So finding that support system in your life, whether it be a practice for yourself that gets you through shifting your own mindset when you slip, or finding that support system with other people in your life. And so those are the 4 things. So
I have one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Investing in yourself, choose every day, choose self-compassion, and get your support. All right, awesome. Yeah.
The one more is wake up every day with you in mind. Not everyone else you can do something for. And when I say that, I don't mean selfishly, I mean selflessly thinking of you, because if you take care of you and the things that you need to take care of for you that day, then you can take care of everyone else and everything else you want to do to help other people. Help yourself first, because you can't be doing something that you're not doing for yourself on a daily basis. And that's another part of living in my brand, is making sure that I continue to start my day with me in mind. And how I do that is going to be different from everybody else's. The way that I do that is I start with setting my intention for just the day. Not these crazy wild goals for the whole week or the whole month or the whole year. Just what do I want to do today, and make sure that I do it with intention. And today my intention was to show up on this video exactly the way I wanted to, and I wrote all the words down that I wanted to be. So hopefully I reflected all of that today, because that was my intention. And meditating is part of what I do, and also journaling for gratitude. What are the things that I'm grateful for? And I'm grateful for the things that didn't go well too, because it helps me see where I can grow. So it's just to always come from a place of gratitude in the learning process, whether it's in your personal life or in your business. They all go together. And when one's going well and one might seem like it's not going well, then focus on the one that you need to work on that's most important to you at that time, and see how you can correct it or adjust it, or if you don't even want to do that, because there's things that come up in our lives that we're not willing to change. And we have to be truthful in those moments as well and say, hey, that's not going to change for me. What do we want to do about that?
Gosh, so much in there. So, another slogan. Golly, I'm all over the place. So you say, I love this. It's very snazzy.
Thank you so much.
You I start my day with me in mind. I start my day with me in mind. And so whenever you wake up into your day and you say, what's the thing today that I really want to do to move me forward with the goals that I've set out for myself? What's the most important to move me one notch forward? And to focus on the things that are not going well and being okay with it, to wake up the next day and try again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's lovely. And so let's whenever you first figured this out, kind of coming up with this practice for yourself, what did that look like for you?
It looked like a lot of different things.
Yeah, what were the growing pains within that? Whenever you have to kind of trust and know yourself, what were some of the growing pains?
The growing pain is just being able to not have to ask someone else if you're right, or if you're thinking the right thing, or are you just totally wrong about this feeling, or always feeling like you have to go outside of yourself That was a challenge for me because I always wanted to get validated or approval, because that is the conditioning that we're given when we're young. When we're young, is that we're always needing someone's approval for everything we do. And so that was the challenge for me. And then when I started getting tired of the external opinions, and realizing that I was still sitting in my worldly ways by allowing that to happen, and even inviting it and paying for it, and not knowing what to do with the information was challenging. So when I finally kind of got irritated enough, sometimes when you get mad, it makes you change. So there were some times when I just got mad and said, okay, I'm going to stop doing that, and I'm going to take it for what it's worth, and I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to try something else. I don't ever give up. I don't ever stop trying. I don't ever get bitter. I just say, I have to try something else that didn't work for me. And I have to take that knowledge into the next thing and say, okay, I need to make sure I really research this and make sure what I'm getting out of it is what I'm really wanting, versus just impulsively doing it thinking it's going to help me. And that's in a lot of areas of life for me. It was challenging. I was very impulsive. I went from impulsive to intuitively thoughtful and considerate. It was one spectrum to the other, but that took time and practice and effort, and constantly being okay with someone telling me, you're still not doing it. You're still not doing it. Having those coaches in place to push me and challenging me. And one of my coaches finally just looked at me and said, damn it, you are enough. And whenever she said that, I held on to those words, and I lived it from that moment on. I truly did. I said, you know what, you're right. I am worth it. That was the other question I wanted to respond to Mark was, you're concerned about maybe pricing. I think that's a thing that I know that's a thing I had an issue with, is I didn't feel worthy at first of my pricing. I had a nice price up there, but I didn't feel worthy. So I wasn't actually manifesting any clients or any money, because I didn't feel like I hadn't really stepped into it yet. So I just wanted to share that with you too, is to think about all the experiences you've had and all of the stuff you've done to educate yourself and all of the investment you've made in yourself. And think about that when you're setting your prices, and know that you're worth it, because you started this because you believed in yourself and you knew that you had something to offer. So price your prices on that, and the people will come. And the more the people come, they're going to pay higher prices, because they're really going to want to be invested. I learned that recently is, don't lowball yourself. Nobody's going to pay for it.
That's right. Yeah, and I want to recap that. And thanks for all the questions and comments, Mark. Keep them coming. And so I want to kind of go back to so coming to this place. I'm going to actually press pause because there's a drag again.
Okay.
So I want to come back to. It's still there. Darn it. Let me lower my volume. So we're talking about, so how do we get to this place of trusting our own success? How do we look within, take the time to look within and trust our own success? And you shared with us, what were some of the challenges and growing pains that you went through to kind of find that self-trust, right? That belief in yourself and move yourself forward. And the things that you mentioned were, first, I recognized it. I recognized that I'm worth it. I knew enough was enough, and you had a strong desire to change. And you intentionally took some time to create a plan on how to move yourself forward, whether that be through your own daily practice or through your support. And so when you think about coaching an individual, or you may be even offering an opportunity around offering them an exercise, can you share maybe some exercises that you might give to people or have given about how they might pause and look within to trust their own success potential?
Well, recently, I was talking with a woman. She's not my client, but, it never fails that I'm always mentoring in the situation or in the conversation, and vice versa. I feel like she does that for me as well in other areas. So it was clear to me that a lot of things happen just in conversation when I'm talking to a client or anyone, that they have this moment in the conversation, and then I look at them in this way, and they're looking at me and they're like, what? And I'm like, do you realize what you just said? And then I just give them a dose of reality about what they said, because it doesn't match the rest of what they're saying. I call it a reality check or a reality therapy. Just reflecting. I'm a mirror for the people that I'm speaking with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my tools, is to be a mirror, and to also show what, people to go look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And look in the mirror for 4 minutes. And don't look away. Don't look to the side. Don't look left. Don't look right. Really look into your eyes. When you aren't sure about something, when you want to make a decision, look into your soul, and the answer will be there, and you will know. And the other thing is to look at yourself and to recognize who's standing in there in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize that person?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, what do you want to do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Let's get started.
Yeah, creating that action. So being really real with people. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, it's very solution focused. It's okay, you have this thing going on, you have this struggle. How do you want to move forward? How do you want to move forward?
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no? Yes, of course. How do you want to move forward? What does that look like? You know, starting to ask all those questions, because it really is about finding out who they want to be and how they want to be that way, but also recommending stuff as well, because, you know, we all have to have a place to start. And so my place to start is always reflection. Challenging them in the moments that they're having, saying those things, that they're having the conversations with themselves in their head, but they're saying it out loud to me and challenging them. That's the first tool.
That is the first tool. That's amazing. So yeah, kind of giving people the opportunity for them to maybe say something that other people haven't had the courage or presence enough to do. And then also inviting them to just pause and look at themselves. It's a simple yet powerful way for them to recognize not only maybe who they are just in that moment, how they, maybe even it'll bring up some feelings about how they feel about themselves. But I love how you say, I first start with reflection and I move them to solutions. By first really kind of recognizing who they are and creating action to move them forward by helping them identify what that is for them. So it's all different for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing I like to do is, you know, tailored affirmations for what it is that they're actually wanting, because I'm a very big believer in manifestation, and that language is powerful, and that we can actually speak positivity in our lives on a daily basis, and that our deep subconscious turns those into actions for us, and then we put them in writing, and then we go and make them happen. So affirmations are super powerful, and so that's another way that I give my clients tools, is to customize them for what it is specifically that they're looking for and wanting and desiring.
That is beautiful. So when you think about kind of helping someone, so they've reached this place of saying, yes, that's true. The first step I need to take is trust myself to move forward. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the services that you offer? So some ways that you get this message out there to your clients. What are some things going on in your business right now?
Okay, so when I started my business, I started on a workshop platform, and I did some body conscious workshops. They were called Body Talk, which is basically getting rid of the negativity and the things that we think about ourselves, say to ourselves. Body image, which is, you know, learning how to dress your body with the clothes you have in your closet, and really, you know, rocking them and feeling good in your clothes, because now you're got all the negativity out of your brain, and really being able to go shop on purpose. And it was really geared towards, you know, curvaceous women. And then the third one was, Body Love, which is loving yourself in and out of your clothes, and being able to have intimate conversations with your partner on a deeper level, and being able to say what you want and how you feel in the bedroom and out of the bedroom with your partner and stuff like that. And then my fourth workshop that I did was called Embracing Love. And it was a 4-hour day that turned into a 6-hour day. That was a beautiful day. Every workshop has been beautiful and transformational and amazing. And I turned, actually it was Getaway to Love. And then I transformed it into Embracing Love, which is going to be a 4-hour event that I have February 13th. And basically it's teaching these principles, the 5 love languages, which is one of the important ones, building your own definition of self-love or self-acceptance, the 4 ways that we get to self-acceptance as well. And then I'm teaching these women or the participants of the workshops, I give them tools to take home, in their purse and in their mind and in their, to sit by their bed or wherever they have their personal belongings. They have a really nice journal they take home with them, a magic wand for their affirmations to give themselves permission to be awesome. Love notes from everybody in the room at the end of the day. Lots of little cool tools to take home and ideas to take home to spread in the family. And then I also created the Heart and Soul Society recently, just calling out my tribe and my community and asking them to join me, heart-minded and like-minded women who really want to make a difference in their homes and their communities. And just by sharing information, sharing knowledge, and, having that philanthropy in the community as well, referring other people to, these mompreneurs or entrepreneurs in the community, and really spreading, getting people to stop going to corporate, but start paying, start sending kids to college and start helping families out and start giving back to our communities in that way. So and just spreading that message of love and self-acceptance and incredible integrity, to live in your truth and to be truthful always, and to learn how to say things truthfully without hurting someone to a degree where it's not, returned, but being able to say it in a way that is presentable, that can be understood and empowering.
I love that. So I don't know if you have a piece of paper and a pen nearby, or we can spell it out, but the Heart and Soul Society. So it's a new community that you started. Is it mostly in person? Is it online? Where can they find more information about that?
The Heart and Soul Society, you can find everything at, I don't know, where can I put this information? I know you told me earlier.
Yeah, that's okay. So this will be recorded, but the chat won't show. So you can either write it on a piece of paper, or I can. And actually, if it's just, or you can spell it out.
It's www.outerboxconcepts.com/events is where you can see all of my local events and all of my events that I have for workshops. And it also has my programs available. You did ask me about other ways. The other ways I work with people is through one-on-one sessions. And I have a couple of different customized packages that I have. And one of them is called Self-Worth Action Planning. Hey, outerboxconcepts.com/events.
.com.
I love him.
I do too. Cracks me up. So you have some exciting things. And so the Heart and Soul Society can be found on there, as well as some of your other workshops. So right now you're in a workshop platform. Is it mostly in person? Is it online?
All of my workshops are in person right now. I'm really building my community because I moved here 7 months ago from Texas to a little town outside of Atlanta in Georgia. So I am really excited about building a local community of followers and working on my social media presence as well to build that community as well, but letting them see that I'm really touching the people and living out my brand and the things that I say are important for me. So that's what's important for me on social right now. And then I'm looking to become I'm looking to do online courses and stuff later, but I'm just not there yet.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's how we started. We kind of really hustled and got out there in the community and connected, and it was a beautifully successful year, 2015, and in 2016, I'm really excited to go to more automation and get out there and go bigger and go online. But it's a gentle process, right? You do what works for you. You try it out, like you mentioned earlier. We see what works for us. We see what doesn't, and we don't really know until we start doing it. So it's very cool that you're being very kind and patient with the process and with yourself and getting this message out there, which is so important.
Thank you.
So what are some other final thoughts or shares? You said you have an upcoming workshop that you're inviting. Is it for women only, men and women?
I am not specific about that. I've geared it more towards women, but if men want to come, they're totally going to be embraced and welcomed just like any woman. It's a very intimate and vulnerable environment. So if you're ready to get connected with your emotions, I welcome it and get connected. I love for men to connect their heart with their mind so they can reach their full potential. So I feel like anything that they can do to do that is wonderful, and I always welcome that. But it is geared more towards women. The giveaway bags have women type of stuff. So if you don't mind that, if I know you're coming, I'll make sure I do something special for you as well. But definitely, I forgot what was your question. I got lost in my thoughts.
What's coming up for you? That's really exciting.
Embracing Love workshop is coming up on February 14th, and then my next Heart and Soul Society event is coming up on February the 20th. And I'm having some incredible giveaways at my Embracing Love event. One of them is a romance package for Holiday Inn, which is the event venue, and we are going to have a one-night stay with dinner for two, specially prepared for the chef. It's a special menu. It's not something that's on their Holiday Inn menu. And the food is excellent, and the chef is amazing, and they are going to have a mimosa buffet in the morning. Ooh. And then they're going to also have roses for the ladies. So it's going to be really nice addition to the Valentine's theme that I have going on. And also I'm giving away $250 worth of, my coaching as well. And thank you so much, Mark. And again, all of this information is provided. The events are listed on www.outerboxconcepts.com. And you can also look me up on any social media platform under Maven Mindy, and you'll be able to see my event information there as well. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn under Maven Mindy, or on LinkedIn, I'm Mindy Stevenson with a PH. And again, my number is 678-964-6704, and you're free to give me a call. I do initial consults are complimentary, and then after that, we work ourselves into packages or workshops, whatever works best for that person. But yeah.
That's awesome. And so you were on, what's the social media platform that works really well for you? So you mentioned you're on most all of them, and I see you all over the web. So that's really great. You're very visible. So what do you like the best from your perspective? What's the most engaging?
Well, I would have to say that Instagram is my favorite platform, and I've actually taken some Instagram courses, and I really, really love Instagram. A lot of people are making money there. A lot of people are saying that Facebook is no longer the way to make the money, and it's Instagram, but everybody has their opinion of social media. I am no social media expert. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. I get more engagement on Instagram than I do on Facebook. I post my events on Facebook because it's a great way to get people involved in the community and to target an audience, and you're not able to do that on Instagram yet. I know that they just came out with Instagram ads, so I'll look into those later, but I just haven't had time. But yeah, Instagram is probably my favorite forum. And I really like LinkedIn too.
Yeah. Like kind of figuring out everyone. I think there's a expectation that we have to get out there and be seen on all of them, but really it's just about finding the one that works best for you. And so that's very cool that yours happens to be Instagram, and you're really leveraging that really, really well.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm just looking for anybody that wants any of my services. I want to help you. I want to be that support for you that I didn't have, that I went and got for myself, and to have the optimal life that you deserve, and to love yourself completely, and to stand confident in everything you are and everything you stand for, so that you can make the best choices for you every day, and just have the best life you could possibly have.
That's beautiful. And I like to kind of end with a little bit of a recap. And so today we talked about looking within and trusting your success. And Mindy Stevenson, known as Maven Mindy, she shared several insights and tools and techniques about how that you can do that. So first thing, as she said, it's most important for you to invest in yourself. So knowing that you're worth it and investing in yourself. Also doing intentional activities every single day that really align with the goals that you want to achieve. But that also to know that you have the choice every single day to wake up. Make that choice to do things differently if something didn't work yesterday, to live in gratitude. She had a lot of cool slogans. So she put shedding light into all the dark places, right? So knowing that you don't have to do it all alone, and coaches, and she is here to support you. You wake up with you in mind, which is another beautiful mantra that she uses each day in her life. So she starts her day with me in mind. And some of the ways that she moved through some challenges and growing pains is that she first recognized that she was ready. She was ready for some change in her life. She knew she had something bigger to do. She found the resources and the support to get her there. And she really connected to her strong desire to do something different for her life, and is now serving others in that same capacity, to have a greater self-acceptance and self-love, to find that freedom and voice in their own lives to live bigger. And so how she does it, so her approach and her style with clients is that she really gives them a dose of reality. So she's the one that steps boldly and bravely into that space and gently but bravely and boldly tells them what no one else will say. And so she gives them a dose of reality, as she says, and she invites them to look in the mirror. This is one technique and tool that she shared, to look in the mirror at yourself for 4 minutes and see what comes up for you. Really notice yourself, appreciate yourself. What are you feeling and seeing? And what, if there's something that you don't like, what are you going to do about it? So she moves you into action oriented practices in your life and or in your business. So that was absolutely beautiful and lovely. And thank you so much, Mindy. And this will be available for replay on the Blab channel. Any final thoughts before we go? Or final questions, Mark?
Yes, do you have anything else, Mark? Thank you so much for having me on. This was amazing. I'm so glad I was able to share. I hope that it inspired and touched at least one person. I did my job, and I hope that you can go home and spread self-love in your home. And if you're not sure how to do it, please contact me. I want to help you have the most incredible day every day and the most incredible life.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. And Maven Mindy can be found at outerboxconcepts.com. I'm Dara Carrillo of MuseStream in Austin, Texas, personal branding and positive psychology coach. You can find me at musestreamcoach.com. Thank you so much. And if you're a coach out there in the community and you have a voice that you want to share, please contact me, Dara at daracarrillo.com, 2 R's and 2 L's. This platform was built to give coaches the opportunity to share their voice, to get some more brand visibility, to connect with other coaches, to get public speaking practice, to use new technology, to connect to your community. So please contact me if you want to come sit on the show. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Mark. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Mark. You're awesome.
Bye.